outside shot at the championship also. 70 laps of racing at Sharon Speedway as our main event is underway. Green flag. And Ryan Newman right away into Tony Kanaan to squeeze him off.
I mean, right off the bat, there's contact, trying to get clear. But we talked about what being out front means. Having that clean air is important as you get going here. And Newman can set the pace now that he's out front. He can save his tires. 70 laps. You don't want to run hard every single lap. He can take care of his car a lot more than these guys trying to go through the field. As you see Chase Elliott up top, three wide. Rock at the top. He knows they watered the track up there. There's a little bit more moisture, a little bit more speed.
Flat right front tire on Paul Tracy's car. He's heading to the infield. He bounced off the outside wall, exiting turn 2. That's what I said ooh about a minute ago. We stay under green as PT tries to make it back into the pit area. And second place is where the hot spot is now. Watch coming right at you here, right in front of the camera.
Oh, this is a big hit. Yeah, he's going to have more than just a right front tire flat. He got a pretty good clip here. Oh, he felt that one.
Yeah, he did.
That's a solid hit. No give in the walls here. No give in the right side when you hit it flush.
PT has taken that car outside to the pit area, outside the racetrack, just early in our main event. So it's Newman, Chase Elliott, Bobby Labonte the first 3, then Marco Andretti 4th. Tony Kanaan is faded back to 5th, and he's being worked on there by Michael Waltrip. This is Tony Stewart, who's back in 8th place, racing with Dave Blaney.
And no surprise here, we saw Dave Blaney rock at the top in the heat race earlier tonight. You see him up there as well right now, trying to make the time while he can. I would assume the top's going to eventually go away, so he's trying to make all the time he can while he can.
Blaney, the co-owner of the Speedway, one of our local all-stars tonight.
Don't look too far back. His son Ryan Blaney is right there. I saw him a couple cars back.
So the race for second spot right now as Ryan Newman has gotten away. Bobby Labonte and Chase Elliott there. Elliott trying to hold off Labonte, who will settle down inside of him instead of running that high line into 3rd place.
Newman is checked out for now. And like we said, the track's going to change. These cars are going to change. The tires are going to wear. Things are going to keep changing. So even though you see Newman out there and he looks like he's setting sail and things are looking good, we're 8 laps into this thing. So many things can change.
Yeah, a lot of racing still to go.
And you know there's going to be a caution on these dirt tracks. You've seen that happen a lot tonight and last week.
We know there'll be cautions no matter what, because that's how we roll here. Newman, Elliott, Labonte, the top 3. They've gotten away a little bit from 4th place, who is now Marco Andretti. So you see Chase Elliott having reeled in Ryan Newman. Oh, got a car around at the back of the field. And we go caution here. Is that Hunter Ray that's up against the wall? No, it's Dave Blaney.
I wonder what happened there.
Jumped the cushion.
Could be.
That's what it looked like.
Car looks okay, though.
It was a soft landing, much softer than the Paul Tracy hit we saw a little bit ago. So yellow flag is out. 9 of 70 laps are complete in our main event on Superstar Saturday night. Ryan Newman is the race leader. Dave Blaney is going to rejoin the tail end of the field. night after Dave Blaney spun off of turn number 2. This is on board with him.
Yeah, he never hit the wall. Just got there. So you can see the dirt up there, how loose it is. That's where he could just right rear a little bit too high and round you away. It shows how right on the edge you got to be, though, when you're trying to run the top. You can be right on the edge of all that loose stuff to go fast, and you got to be on the gas and sideways to go fast. But if you get a little bit too much, around she goes.
Is that old saying of racing on the ragged edge?
That's it right there.
Well, Dave Blaney, no contact with the wall. Now he's back there with his son Ryan toward the tail end of the field. And by the way, Paul Tracy has come back out from the pit area in that lavender colored car and has rejoined the end of the field also.
How about how cool it must be you're lining up to restart this race with all these legends of motorsports, and you're watching your son right in front of you.
Right?
How cool is that? That's got to be really neat.
Coming to the green flag with Ryan Newman and Chase Elliott on the front row. Elliott in red, Newman in navy blue, and the green flag is out.
Chase really able to hang on the outside. We didn't see that happen on the initial start through 1 and 2.
3 wide. Michael Waltrip backs out of it. Marco Andretti had Tony Kanaan inside of him and slipped in the corner. Who's that riding the rim? Is that Ryan Blaney behind there? Yeah.
Yes, it is.
The torn up white car making some ground on this restart. He's passed 3 of them.
Blaney's not afraid to send it. We've seen that happen quite a few times in the Cup Series. He'll make a big move, especially on these restarts.
Well, the pressure's on now, too. He wants to finish ahead of Dad, so Dad has to wear the mask at the Halloween party and all that.
Well, he's looking good so far. Look at him way up there. Oh, a little too high. A little too high there.
Here's Greg Biffle inside of Ryan Blaney. Tony Stewart right behind Ryan, and Dave Blaney looking to the outside.
Father like son, right? The nut didn't fall too far from the tree on that one.
He doesn't want to lose that little bet either. Chase Elliott leading. Ryan Newman second. Bobby Labonte third, while we ride with Ryan Blaney back in traffic.
You see, look at how straight they're going. And it almost looks slow when they're going straight, but that's kind of the way you want it to be. You want to try to keep it straight so you can get drive off the corner. When the car's sideways and it has yaw on it, yeah, you might be able to go through the corner fairly quick, but when you get to right here in the 2/3 part of the corner, you want to straighten it out so you can launch out of that corner.
We saw some of the guys who picked up the most ground in our main event so far. Here's the fun back here. Ryan Blaney in white, Tony Stewart in red. Dave Blaney will show up in and out of the frame in the black car to the right of the screen. And then Paul Tracy in lavender.
And that might be one of the biggest surprises we talk about here tonight. Tony Stewart being so good on the dirt, especially in these SRX cars. We expect him to be up front with the favorites tonight. And he said it.
Yeah.
He said he's struggling. So he's going to need a miracle to make this thing good enough. So different tracks ask for different things.
Tony Stewart has been the only winner in our 2 seasons of SRX racing on a dirt track coming into tonight.
Well, we may have a different winner tonight. We'll have to wait and see.
Take a look at some of our Whoop Live telemetry on Tony Stewart. Heartbeats per minute, BPM.
Oh, got the fence a little bit there. You look at his hands in there. He's driving almost with one hand. He's got the wheel so much to the right. He's got to release his right hand to be able to do that. Blaney using the bumper. He doesn't have a bumper. That's not going to work out so well.
You can only get away with that so many times.
He's trying. Why isn't it working? There's nothing up there. Look, his hood's flying up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use it too much. There's not much there. Silva just kind of locked down right here. Here's the bump again. As he kind of gets in here and oh.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, well, not enough. It didn't quite do it for him as he's trying to get underneath Biffle. And that might be one of the only ways you can pass once these guys all get locked down on the bottom. You might have to give him a little nudge.
Traffic jam in front of him.
Oh,
Michael Waltrip got a nudge from Greg Biffle. Good save, Mikey.
Blaney saw that as an opportunity to go to the top and try to carry momentum around Waltrip. This is going to get tight.
Here's Matt Kenseth, Ryan Hunter-Ray, and then Waltrip and Biffle get clear. Ryan Blaney had to back out of it and lost some ground. Stewart to the outside. Still trying to find some running room. And now he does the crossover on Hunter Ray. Excuse me, coming through.
Here's where they're 3 wide off of turn 2 here. Blaney up top. Gets a little checked up. His dad ran into him. It looked like Ryan knew he was about to get fenced right here by Michael Waltrip, so he checked up, and his dad was right there, and a little contact. It's okay.
That's fiberglass, the body panels on these cars, so it's not like a piece of metal that was dropped on the racetrack. I don't know if that hood's going to make the end of this main event on that Ryan Blaney car, but he's sure out there wheeling it.
He said the heck with it. He's keeping his front tires nice and cool. I'm sure it's not helping him. You know, you may say they're going slow, downforce doesn't matter. I'm telling you, you're going fast enough. You put your hand out the window going on the highway going 40 or 50, and you can play the airplane game.
Oh, yeah.
There's downforce being made, or not being made, on Blaney's car right now.
So Ryan Newman running in second position. He's about 5-6 car lengths behind Chase Elliott and a 1 or so ahead of Bobby Labonte. Check out the miles an hour. You were talking about you're still going fast enough, right?
Yeah, and you see it 55 miles an hour in the middle of the corner. You're not going much faster than that down the straightaway. But what I like watching is his hands. You know, you see him steering a fair amount. That's not a lot for dirt. He's keeping it fairly straight, trying to keep the car to where it's driving off the right front tire, not the right rear tire.
Tony Stewart starting to get it rolling. Smoke is up to 5th position in that red number 14. Riding the rim on the outside. Marco Andretti next in line ahead of him.
See Marco on the bottom there. Tony up top. See, most of these guys are all on the bottom, except for Tony. That's a great shot of it. He's pretty much the only one up there. There's something I don't know.
If the bottom lane is all clogged up, you got to find someplace to pass, right?
Go where they're not.
Now, I know as a currently active race driver, it's maybe against your natural instincts to talk to somebody under the green flag. But this is SRX. We're used to this by now, so.
Oh, I think it's kind of cool. Let's do it. Let's try it. Tony Stewart, Joey Logano up here in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, what's happening there, Spoon?
Well, it looks like you're cruising around. You're riding the top. Most guys are on the bottom. I figured you must know something I don't know. What are you thinking up there?
Well, you know me. I'm not very good at that thinking part, but I kind of got going up here. I mean, I can roll the bottom pretty decent, but it doesn't seem like anybody's really up here anymore, so got to go where they're not. You know, it's the easiest way to get around, but just got to catch some moisture at the right place.
But you're much better than me. I can't talk and drive, so stay focused in there.
Thanks, bud. Glad you're with us tonight.
It's like a Sunday drive. Nothing's going on. I know one thing. If I start talking on the radio while I'm racing, it's an instant 0.2 of a second each lap, for sure. I am good at one thing at a time. That's it.
Well, big respect to Tony, who's always, he says anytime, give us a call.
Give us a call.
So lead tightening up a little bit here as Newman had tracked down Chase Elliott. He was within maybe a car length. Now he slipped back just a little bit, but he's not going away.
No, not at all. And you see him. You can see on the bottom of the racetrack, there's a little bit of moisture right there by the big tires they have there. And that's what those guys are doing. They're searching for that moisture, and they're trying to keep the car nice and straight to be able to hook it both with the left front and the left rear.
Got caution out. There's a car that stopped up against the outside wall in turn 3. And it is Dave Blaney, who has had some trouble and is rolling
Flat right
slowly.
front.
Is the right front down on that car?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's a problem.
Right front fender's coming off as well, so maybe a little something happened here. Here's a replay. See Dave.
Ooh, that'll do
the
it.
fence just a little bit. That's all it took. And you can see the car kind of fall down on the right front right after that.
So second caution of our main event tonight with 40 laps to go in the series finale for this summer for the Superstar Racing Experience. The streaming wars continue in South Park, and there's one place to see the action. Watch South Park The Streaming Wars Part 2, now streaming exclusively on Paramount+. Eavesdrop a little bit on Tony Stewart's radio.
I think it's rolling pretty good around the top here. Anybody else up there trying it? Only you. That's right. I'm sticking with it. I just got to get back up there. 10-4. Doing good.
Well, I told him that when we talked to him. I said, you were the only ones up here. He didn't believe me up here.
Well, you know, just regrouping his position since he's down on the inside line for this restart. Dave Blaney's car, new right front tire. He's back on the track, tail end of the field. And we are ready for a restart. Chase Elliott in red inside, Ryan Newman in blue on the outside, and the flag on the starter stand is green.
Leo Newman, good start up top. And this is how Chase ended up with the lead. Kind of roles reverse this time, though. Newman's going to try to pinch him down on the tires. And look at, is that Marco Andretti trying to make a run up top as well.
Bobby Labonte inside of him in the white car. So side by side by side by side.
And I know Newman's going to try to keep him pinched down the bottom. That's going to be what's going to hold Chase from being able to accelerate off the corner. He's going to try to pinch him here. This is a good race.
Elliott in red, Newman in blue, Andretti in orange, Labonte in white. Little contact in that second row. Here comes the, oh, caution. Got a piece of debris up high in turn number 2 that's come off one of the cars and is a safety concern. So the yellow flag is out. There it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Piece of
What
metal.
that is. Yeah. Maybe a bracket of some sort. There's been some contact between these cars, I'm sure.
Yes, there has been.
Look at these guys are racing so hard. Andretti giving a little bump to Newman. That's when you're wondering, if you're Andretti, where do I go? Which lane do I want to be in?
Then he got bumped by Labonte and got shoved up into the outside lane.
I think eventually you're going to want to be on the bottom, but it looks like you have 3 or 4 laps you can run door to door.
Something to be concerned about. Look at the grill on Marco Andretti's car. It's all kind of punched in from some of that contact, so they'll be keeping an eye on that to make sure that that radiator opening doesn't get clogged up with dirt.
And I think it's going to take a lot for Marco Andretti to give up the position he is running in. He's racing for a championship, and as they run, he's only got it by 2 points over the car right in front of him, Ryan Newman. So it's a pretty close battle right there.
It's a very close battle, and it's a lot of fun. So the restart order being called out to the drivers from race control, and then they'll give them 2 to go signal, and we'll get ready to go back racing in our main event with still a little over half of the feature to go. What do you think so far?
I think the old pace car is making some laps, probably make some more laps here. Randy LaJoie's in that thing. How about that? That's pretty cool. A lot of racing laps there as well. And maybe the coolest pace car in all of motorsports. Look at that thing.
Yeah, talk to Randy about that. It took him a while to learn how there's a sequence to firing that thing up. You got to go through to launch it, but it's a lot of fun.
I'm sure it took a while to train him, because his ability to focus more than 5 seconds isn't really there. He would agree with that.
Wow,
he would
okay.
agree.
Here we come to the restart. Chase Elliott has chosen the outside lane. Ryan Newman is on the inside lane. Andretti and Labonte side by side in row number 2. Stewart again trapped out of that inside lane. Everybody wanting to know, how is it going to turn out?
Oh my goodness.
Andretti hits Newman and spins him. Yellow flag.
And so we just talked about the championship right before this, and that was the 2 cars racing for the championship.
Yep.
And Andretti really sent her in there. Let's take a look at this again. Look at the, just drove through Newman. And he got damage on the right front as well. I'd say it wouldn't really worked out for anybody. And he saw a gap and tried to take it.
This is from Ryan Newman's back bumper.
that was Chase is definitely his biggest competition was Ryan Newman for sure. That was my reaction in the booth as well.
Wow. Yes, it did happen that way.
Jaw-dropping moments here.
Yeah. So the top two guys in the standings tangle, and now we'll be back toward the tail of the field. Newman got away more quickly. Be curious to see how they position this for the restart.
I was wondering if they just blend back in or what. And we see Andretti down here in the pits.
How about it, Matt?
The SRX crew going to work, jacking up the right side of that number 98 machine. They're going to get the right front off. You can see how the body damage is tucked up underneath, and that's why it was locked up. We saw that last week when we were at I-55 a couple different times. They've got a piece of bare bond you can see in the shot right now that they're going to possibly use to piece back together that right front fender. A lot of work going on. Like you mentioned, I mean, he sent it in there, Joey.
He definitely did, and we've seen him do this all night long in the heat races on the restarts. He did it again on this restart.
Had trouble in turn one on a restart between the top two in the championship.
CBS Sports is sponsored by Fram, trusted since 1934, and by Progressive, save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
Well, what a beautiful sight. A sellout crowd here at Sharon Speedway in northeastern Ohio, right on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. And our last incident involved the top three in the championship.
It has changed everything because there you see Bobby Labonte in that white car on the bottom in the front row as the championship leader at the moment as they run. So big turn of events there on that restart. And now you have a new front row. Bobby Labonte hasn't been up there tonight that we've seen, but we also saw in that last restart, he's right there in the hunt. And it seems like his car and the track is kind of coming to his liking.
Kind of curious, Chase Elliott, the race leader, chose the outside lane for the restart. So it's Labonte inside of Chase Elliott, then Matt Kenseth inside of Tony Stewart in the second row, and Marco Andretti back at the tail end of the field in 13th position as we come to the green flag.
Big start by Chase, and not a good start by Bobby at all. You see a top three cars on the top were able to clear.
Is Hunter Ray to the outside of Labonte and Kenseth to his inside as Tony Stewart launches to the outside of Chase Elliott for the race lead.
Never count smoke out, right? He said his car's no good. He kind of found something up top, was cruising up there, and now look at him making a run to the outside of Chase Elliott. You see, Tony kind of pulls it down a little bit. He doesn't run the full radius up top. Chase recognized this, meaning he's watching in the mirror because there's no spotters, remember. So Chase watched Tony do that and said, I better change what I'm doing. I'm about to get past. Smoke goes where he's not. Back to the bottom.
Oh, slide jump.
Him. What a slider.
So Tony Stewart to the front gets a big cheer from this big crowd here at Sharon Speedway. Now Chase Elliott in second with Matt Kenseth in third. Ryan Hunter Ray in fourth, and Bobby Labonte shuffled back to fifth.
Here's another look how Smoke gets the lead here. Look at him go down to the bottom, carrying momentum, and said, yeah, that's my right rear bumper. I got to take that.
The guy that said he couldn't get anything going for a large measure of the night in the two heat races now has the race lead. But here comes Chase Elliott back, looking to make that bottom lane work for him.
Two different theories once again. Top versus bottom, how long the top lasts and how this works. Smoke's been able to make it work for him for a while here this whole race so far.
Toward the back end of the field, Michael Waltrip and Tony Kanaan got tangled up off of turn 4. They've continued. We stay under green. How much fun do you think these two guys are having racing like this?
I think they're having a blast right now. It looks like they're having so much fun. We've said this all night, how slick the track is, right? Easy on the throttle, not much speed at all, right? We saw 55 miles an hour in the center of the corner. They're not going fast, but they're right on the ragged edge because we're seeing cars spin out all by themselves. So you know they're right on the edge, although they're not really going that fast. It makes it really fun when you're inside the race car doing that. And it's a lot of fun for us to watch.
Yeah, and think about it, right? They're maybe not going 200 miles an hour, but for the conditions, they're right on the edge of it.
No one said you had to go 200 miles an hour to put on a good race.
That's right.
These guys are putting on a great race at the speeds they're running. And look at Chase still all over Tony. Tony moving around back down to the bottom. Anywhere you want to go out here, every option is open for this racetrack right now. Oh!
So there is a time, jumping the cushion on the outside and losing some ground is Chase Elliott. He gathered it up without hitting the wall significantly.
He was just getting a little bit on the high side and,
well, maybe he hit it more significantly than I thought.
I think that's okay. It didn't look too bad to me.
So there is a time limit on the main event, and we hit the point where that's going to get put into play. So the drivers were just told there are 10 laps to go in the main event. 10 green flag laps left in the main event.
Well, you better go. Not much time at this point. There's Matt Kenseth, who's made a great run, doing it Kenseth style, just there at the end, out of nowhere. You don't talk about him all day, and then he pops up.
Yeah.
That's the typical Matt Kenseth we're all used to. And here he is, just creeping into the picture at the end of the race.
Caution flag as Tony Kanaan is going around in turn number 4. Yellow flag is out. And that resets everything. looking to see if he can pass old Dad, too.
See, Tony sent it in there pretty hard. He's trying to slide up the racetrack in front of Chase. Chase is going to get a run off the corner here, trying to cross him back.
Here we go.
And now will Chase repay the flavor? Yes, he will, as he slides back up in front of Smoke.
Oh, crash behind him.
Wrecking behind him.
Crash behind him.
Hunter Ray, looked like Newman got involved in that one a little bit.
Yellow flag is out again. Marco Andretti got a piece of something also in the crash. And may have another right front down on his car. Well, great racing up front, but the guys out back. Michael Waltrip's dragging a duct hose behind his car.
Yeah, a brake hose of some sort. Hunter Ray looks like he is he's not moving, I can tell you that much, but looks like it might be broke.
Let's see
what happens.
He's on
here.
the outside. That's Marco to his inside. Oh, no, that's further ahead. That's Dave Blaney.
Dave got into Hunter Ray there maybe a little bit somehow. Newman got a piece of that at the end. Oh, Newman hit him pretty hard, actually.
Yeah, I want to see the whole thing again. Oof.
That's a big hit to the right front. You see how it's not steering either. He goes right back up the racetrack, so Andretti's car definitely hurt. They're cutting the rest of the fender off it now.
I still need a better read on what actually started that whole thing for me to get Hunter Ray sideways.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah. Marco's car is the worst for wear.
Well, and as we said, he's racing for that championship, and he's trying everything he can do to get himself back up to the front, and we'll see what happens if he can get that thing back out there and how this whole thing shakes out at the end.
Well,
and as you see everyone under caution, they're all fighting for position. They don't know where to be. Because of the restart, there's so many cars as a cluster. Everyone's trying to figure out where they need to be.
Tower's calling it out to them. They are all on a radio channel. It's kind of like well, you're too young to remember, like a party line phone. but they're all on one channel. Race control can talk directly to the drivers, as can we.
But the drivers can't talk back to race control because I think that would be a mess.
It would be a disaster.
Well, here we go here.
That waved off the restart. First of all, Marco Andretti just came back out of the pits.
And how about Ryan Blaney up there in the 4th position? What?
Yeah. Well, on that last
happen?
restart, while we were watching Chase and Tony, right, he went to the outside, 3 wide, around a couple guys.
And now he's got a shot at it.
And missed the wreck. And that car is the worst for wear.
That one's hurt. Oh,
Yeah.
It looks like they're putting him back somewhere else. He's trying to sneak a couple spots there.
Well, I think where the caution came out and how they do all that. And there's poor Marco's car.
He's back out there, but he's still in the championship lead at the moment.
It started as an orange car. Now it's kind of mostly, I was going to say mostly black duct tape, but that's actually, there's nothing there at all.
They took that off.
Yeah.
He took a pretty big shot to the right front. Yeah, they cut off the fender, so there's no rubs, but I'm pretty sure it probably knocks the toe out in the front end alignment a fair amount in those heads.
Tony or Chase? Who do you like?
I mean, it's hard not to go against Tony Stewart on a track like this, but man, those slide jobs back and forth were a lot of fun to watch, and it's going to happen again on this restart.
Here we go.
You see Tony on the bottom. As I say, it's going to happen again. He's creeping the bottom, trying to wrap it to get the launch off the corner. Oh, not quite going to get him. Chase hanging strong up top. This is so much patience. You want to send it in there and carry so much more speed, but you got to be so disciplined to make sure you don't overrun the corner. Whether you're Tony or Chase in this position, you got to be so disciplined not to make a mistake as you're racing for the lead with only 8 to go.
Elliott trying to roll the outside. Stewart protecting the bottom.
Tony might get him off the corner this time. Looks like he had a little bit more distance. Tony's not even wanting to use the whole racetrack here.
Meanwhile, Bobby Labonte trying to find a way around Ryan Hunter-Ray to keep himself in the thick of this. And Marco Andretti and Ryan Newman trying to charge from the back.
And there's Kenseth again. Takes a couple laps for him to get going, but he's right in the mix of this as well.
Look at Marco hanging it out, doing everything he can to try and make up some ground. 6 laps to go in our SRX series for the summer of 22. Side by side again for the race lead. Stewart inside, Elliott outside.
Elliott's really figuring out the top here. Look at the momentum he's going to carry. He's going to clear smoke up top here. Now, does Tony change what he's doing at this point, right? Chase is up there. He's fast. He's faster than what Tony is right now. Do you change it up, or do you stay married to what you're doing?
What about if you're Chase? Do you stay on that outside, or do you come protect the bottom?
It's working for you. Don't change. You're faster than the competitor behind you. You have to stay doing what you're doing.
Coming to 3 laps to go as Elliott and Stewart fight for the race win.
Getting away.
No. Stewart just can't quite hook on him. Now, Elliott goes to the bottom. Stewart slides wide.
Now, is that the right thing or is that a mistake? That's a last-minute little change there on the line change.
So here they come to 2 laps to go.
I think that was probably a pretty good move on Chase's part. It looks like it worked out pretty well as he's pulling away a little bit from Tony.
Matt Kenseth in the blue car down the bottom trying to fight for second.
As those two are battling, Chase is checking out.
Ryan Newman running 8th, Marco Andretti running 9th. But the focus is up front. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Chase Elliott. Matt Kenseth left to fight with Stewart for second spot as Elliott is checked out 3-4 car lengths. Fans come to their feet. Checkered flag comes out from the starter stand. And a win in his second try at SRX is Chase Elliott's. He wins tonight in Ohio. Stewart edges Kenseth for second. And Chase Elliott is 2 for 2 in visiting the Superstar Racing Experience.
Might want to run every week. Well, this is pretty fun for them. You know, it's fun watching them, you know, come over here on the airplane from Pocono. They're talking about the race car and not knowing what the heck's going to happen. Chase and Ryan Blaney go out there together and have a practice later from everybody because they miss hot laps. And then they come around and eventually wins the race. And there's Marco Andretti.
There is your champion of the SRX Series this year by 2 points over Ryan Newman. Marco Andretti is the SRX champion.
And I think that was a lot more of an eventful night that he was looking for. There was moments where he was 3rd in the championship standings. There was moments he was in the lead. He ultimately wins the championship. Ryan Newman missing it by 2 points.
Going to hear from our winner and our champion in a moment. Joey Logano, so much fun to have you with us tonight. Your thoughts on what you've seen?
I've had a blast. Congratulations to all these racers, SRX Series for doing what they've done here. Sharon Speedway for putting on an amazing racetrack. We saw great racing all the way through the field, all the way down to the last lap. I had a blast. Thanks for having me here.
No, it's great to have you with us. Tony Stewart with the thumbs up to both Chase Elliott and Marco Andretti. And this sellout crowd will let out a big roar when these guys climb from their cars. Great fun tonight. You think about the night it was for Marco Andretti, right?
Oh, my goodness.
The beating that car took, and back in the pit area, and the desperation to get from the back of the field up into a position where he could barely hold the championship. All right, here comes the race winner, Chase Elliott, and Matt Yoakum is there.
Raised his fist to the crowd, gave a big thumbs up to Marco Andretti. 2 for 2, 2 completely different nights. Nashville And here at Sharon Speedway, what means most to you about how you raced tonight? You and Tony Stewart, the bottom, back up top. It was a great show. What means the most to you about it?
Well, to sit there and race on dirt with one of my heroes there in Tony Stewart and throw a couple sliders with him. Obviously, this is a little different than the open wheel stuff, but just knowing how good he is, at this stuff and being able to dice it up with him, and race with him. I actually thought he was better than me that run before, and then I was able to watch him on the top and finally get a couple things going there. But congrats to Marco. I hope he's okay. I don't know, something up, but nonetheless, great crowd. Thanks to everybody that's coming out tonight, and thanks to the Blaneys for having me up here.
When he began racing go-karts, he wanted to go number 20 for his hero, Tony Stewart, but he went number 9 because his dad paid the tire bill. Great night here in Sharon, Willie.
Okay, I had to run over here like a fan to catch the champ. You talk about hang in there award. You just kept coming back like the Energizer Bunny, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, the cool thing about this is you get damaged, you still can play and stay on the lead lap. So I broke my wrist in that last little thing. I got my thumb caught in the wheel. So that was a painful last couple laps, but I just wanted to cover and finish right where I needed to finish. And we were able to do that. So this thing was pretty robust tonight.
Oh, yeah, no, it's got beat up a little bit, but hey, you're the champ. That's all that matters.
Thank you, man.
Lindsay.
He said he wanted to prove that he could play in the sandbox, and indeed he did. Next on 48 Hours, did Chad Daybell play any role in the killing of his new wife's 2 children? His children speak out. 48 Hours next on CBS. A phenomenal night here at Sharon Speedway. We appreciate you spending some of your summer Saturday nights with us. For our crew, Alan Beswick, Joey Logano, Connor Daly, Willie T. Ribbs, Matt Yoakum, producer Pam Miller, director Jim Cornell, and the CBS crew that works tirelessly behind the scenes. Thanks for watching. Here's a look back at a memorable 6 weeks.
Takes the checkered flag in the Superstar Racing Experience in Music City.
Tonight, a little slice of dirt racing heaven